So once we have set up this batch group, then we can come to this. Just expand the batch group. We'll get an option of control and logs, where we have this option of execute. So using this execute, we can execute the batch group and we can see all the stats basically. How many records inserted, updated. Everything will be visible here itself. So either I can see here, or we have seen like 3 tables. I can go to see post job control table, which is my main table, which stores all the information. Like whenever we execute any batch, we can see that which job is executed, and whatever the stats we are seeing here. So like total number of records inserted, updated, rejected, whatever these stats are coming here, these things we can see from 2 tables: see repos job metric and see repos job metric type. These are the 3 tables. If you want to see from the backend, you can join these 3 tables and you can see the same stats there itself. So now today we look into the merge manager. Merge manager is basically used for merging the data. So once you have already run the match process, you can see the data, and if you see there is a data in your match table, then you can come and run the merge manager. So in the merge manager, again once we come, it will show the same option, selecting the base object, and then we can use this get count. It just shows that how many records are ready to be merged. This count is not accurate. You might see some differences there because this is not sure like how the records comes here, because you might see only 1 record or 2 record, but here it will show some different values. So that might not match with your match table MTCH, and this count might not match. And then we have to select the merge package. Merge package is just a put package. So once we select the merge package, we can just leave the display package as it is. And the third option is assignment, task assignment. So this is not used in MDM as such. Task assignment we used in the IDD side. So this was an option which was used previously. So as of now it is not used, so we can ignore it, because whenever we click on this begin merge, it assigns like by default some 50 tasks to this user. So user is just an admin user. We can anytime clear these records. So once we click on begin merge, we can see all the records from my base object. Okay. It's not showing any matches as of now. There is nothing to match. In the match table, we don't have any data here. So we just change some rule. Probably based on a particular rule, it has not matched the data. Just see what is the rule here on the customer base object. Okay, so it is taking a customer and the address table. So we'll just remove the address because we don't have address data, that's why it is not matching. So I'm just taking person name as a fuzzy, and I will just include one column, first name. So I run the match process, so it shows that 3 records are good for manual merge. So now if we go to the match or the merge manager, we will be able to see the data. So these are the matches. Like on the top, whatever we are seeing is the base object record. On the down also we have base object record, only it is showing. But like once we click on 2, on the top, like we have row ID object 4. When you click on this, it shows that it is matching with 2 records, row ID object 1 and row ID object 20002. So it will show matches like this. And on the down, you can see the trust scores. So this is the 4th record and this is the 1st record. So whatever is selected on the down, that is the surviving record. See, I have selected the 4th record on the top, and on the down I am selecting the 1st record. So whichever record you select on the down, that is the surviving row ID object. So here, like we can see row ID object 4, row ID object 1. So 1 will be the surviving row ID object, and all the values from 1, it is putting it into the master record. So same option we have, we can override it. We can say that we don't want like full 1, we can use, I want to use this one, full 5. So for that we can use this trust override. This is the option of trust override. If we click on this trust override, it will give like high confidence, and then you can just click on finish. So here you can see the full name. Full name for row ID object 4, it is showing trust says 90, and for the other it is showing 80 itself. So that is why full name is not will be taken from row ID object 4. So in that has a option basically for the data steward to override. In case they feel that something wrong is getting promoted, they can promote this other values to the master record using this trust override option. Now like on the down you have 2 options here. The first is flag for auto merge. So flag for auto merge, what it will do is it will change the auto merge indicator flag to 1. So in my match table currently I have auto merge indicator as 0 because these all records have matched on a manual rule. So if I select this option auto merge, all the records, means for this record 4 matches with 1, the auto merge indicator will change to 1 and it will be removed from here. So data steward has 2 options. Either he can merge the record here itself, or they can say I want to flag it for auto merge. So if they say flag for auto merge, next time whenever the auto merge job runs, it will pick up these records and it will merge them. So if you go to the backend here in the match table, this is the match table, MPCH table, and in this you can see auto merge indicator is 0 for all the records. So if I go and make the changes, if I come here and on the down we have this option A, that is flag for auto merge. If I make this change, this record will be removed from the merge manager. So you can see 4 is not there. 4 has been removed from the merge manager. So if I go back again into the table level, I can see auto merge indicator as 1. So now like this has become auto merge indicator as 1. That is why it is not coming into the merge manager. So in the merge manager, only those records will come where auto merge indicator equals to 0. If it is 1, it will not come. So next time when I go and run the auto merge process, these records will be picked up and it will be merged automatically. So that was like flag for auto merge. Similarly, the next option is for merging the records. So again, like we have selected on the top 20002 and on the down we have the first record or the fourth record. So if you click on both the record, you can see like which value is getting promoted into the master record. So now like we can directly go and click on this merge. So in this case, we have 20002 on the top and 1 on the down. This means 1 will survive. You can do the reverse also. If you go and click on 1, it will show that it is matching with 20002. So if I merge it like this, 20002 will survive in the base object. So it's depend like how you have selected the records. So whatever is the matched data, that is the surviving row ID object. So we'll select this 20002 here and click on the merge option. So merge was done, 1 is merged into 20002. So now if you go and check, we can see this data in the base cross reference table. So this is the row ID object. We have 20002, so we don't have 1 in my base object currently. And if we go to the cross reference, we can see this 1 and the row ID object, you can see 20002. So basically 1 has been merged into 20002. Or we can also see from the HMRG table, because that is a better table to see these merges. So here you can come and see this record. This one is merged into 20002. So data storage has both the options. He can either merge the record directly or he can override it. But this merge manager is not used by them, because here we have some limitations. As you saw, I can select only 2 records and I can merge them. I cannot select multiple records. Suppose like as we saw that one record is matching with 4 or 5 records. In this case, I cannot merge all the records. For example, row ID object 1 is matching with 2, 3, 4 and 5. So all the 5 records are getting matched because they are duplicate. But from here I cannot merge all of them at the same time. I can merge only 2 records at a time. So that's a limitation here. But from IDD side there is no limitation. I can select, when I go to the IDD, I will see like 1 is matching with 2, 3, 4, 5. I can compare all the records side by side and see like what value is getting promoted into the master record. If I want to override something, I can override it and then merge the record directly, or I can flag it for auto merge. So these are the 2 options which are available on the down. Now if we go on the top here, the first option that we have is accept the unmerged record as unique. So as of now, like we have seen 2 scenarios where the consolidation indicator value changes to 1. The first is we have seen in the merge setting. When we go to the match and merge setup, in the merge setting, we have this option as immutable row ID object. So if we select any source system as an immutable row ID object, all the records from that system will get loaded as 1. Consolidation indicator will be 1 directly. So that is one place. The second one was in the properties. So if you go to properties and select accept all unmatched record as unique, if you make this as a yes, and then we run the auto match and merge job, in that case, if MDM doesn't find match for any record, it will change the consolidation indicator value to 1. So these are the two ways using which we can change the consolidation indicator value. And the third one is from here, from the merge manager. So if we come to the merge manager, we have this option, accept all unmatched record as unique, or accept the unmerged record as unique. So as of now, you can see 2 is having consolidation indicator as 2. So that will be the normal consolidation indicator because we have run the match process, and in the match process, the consolidation indicator is always 2. And even after merging, the consolidation indicator never changes to 1 directly. So you can just look into this base object level. For 20002, we have merged 1 into 20002, but the consolidation indicator value for 20002 is still 2. It is not changed to 1. So even after you go and merge the records, the consolidation indicator is always 2. It never changes to 1 automatically. So either we have to do, either those are the two options which we can use, or we will have to make it specifically 1 for a couple of records. So now we'll go back again to the merge manager and select this option, accept the unmerged record as unique. So once you selected it, now it is removed from the merge manager. And if you go to the backend, we can see that for second record, the consolidation indicator is 1. So here you can see the consolidation indicator, this has changed to 1. So that also the data steward has an option. If they want, they can change the consolidation indicator value to any record as 1. So 1 means as, now it must be clear to you, like if any record is having consolidation indicator as 1, that will always survive in your base object. It cannot be deleted unless we physically delete it. It will never get deleted from your base object. This will always be there. But it will participate in match and merge process. It's not that it is a golden record, so it cannot participate in match and merge process. It will participate because we have still these 2 records. So these 2 records might be duplicate record. So if they are duplicate, these 2 records will get merged into 1. 1 cannot get merged into these 2 records. That's the only advantage of making any record consolidation indicator 1, that it will always survive. One more thing is, 2 records which are having consolidation indicator 1 can never match, because 1 can never match with 1. 1 can only match with 2, 3 or 4. So that's why 1 and 1 never matches. If you want to merge 1 and 1, because you feel that 1 and 1, there are 2 1s and they are duplicate. So that's a manual thing. We can go to the IDD. From here we cannot do it. From IDD application, I can select these 2 records and I can merge them. So that just be clear about that 2 records which are having consolidation indicator as 1 can never match. So they can never merge within themselves. So only new records which we are loading, like when we load some new records, with consolidation indicator 4 and run the match process, they can match with this record and they can merge into this record because they are duplicate record. But this record will always be there in your base object level. So this is one of the options. And similarly, others option are also similar way. Accept all records without a match in the assignment list. So in your assignment list, so assignment list is like when we clicked on the begin merge, it has assigned 50 records. We don't have those many records here, but if we select this option and if for any record there is no match, it will change the consolidation indicator value to 1 for all those records. And similarly, the third option, accept all records without a match. So this is third one is like whether the record is in your assignment list or it is not in your assignment list. If you select this for all records which don't have any match as of now, the consolidation indicator will change to 1. So these three are basically just to change the consolidation indicator values to 1. And this is a manual approach that we have to go and specifically do that. So usually, like if you say in the real time, do we do that? We don't do that. It's manually going and making because there are millions of records. So we cannot go and like identify a particular record and change the consolidation indicator value to 1. Sometimes we might do. For example, like we can say that a company is having like some top 10 or top 100 customers are there. So initially when they load the data, they say that these are my top 100 customers. So just make them as a unique. So in that case, we can just go and manually change the consolidation indicator value to 1. But that is not as useful as such because both 1 and 2 are golden records if they don't have a match for that. So yes, for interview perspective, yes, 1 is a golden record, but even if consolidation indicator is 2 and there is no match for it, that is also a golden record. So these are the three options, and then the next fourth option is view the cross-reference records. So this is just the data manager part. In the data manager also, for any record we can view the cross-reference records. So this is the same thing here. So it is showing like this record 20002. In this record we have merged 1 and 3. So initially this record we created here, we had added last time this record 20002, and after that I have merged 1 and 3 into 20002. So this we can see from the cross reference. So I can see it from here also, or I can see it from the data manager also. Same thing. The next is the flag option. So here one extra option is there, which is put on hold. So this option we didn't have in the data manager. In the data manager we can either set the consolidation indicator to 4, 3 or 2. In the merge manager we can set the consolidation indicator to 1 plus 9, basically that is put on hold. So if we select this, the consolidation indicator will change to 9. So if there is any record having consolidation indicator value as 9, that will not participate in match and merge process. And others are same, like Q for matching is like changing the consolidation indicator to 3. Reset as new record will change the consolidation indicator to 4. And reassign is not used because we are not doing reassignment here. IDD will be used for it. And similarly the deletes. So if you want to delete the record, we can delete it from here also. And from the data manager also, we saw that we can do a soft delete. So whatever delete we are doing from here is a soft delete, not a hard delete. So soft delete is basically it will put -1 in your hub state indicator column. So that is basically a soft delete. So record will still be there, but with a -1 in the hub state indicator, and that record will not participate in match and merge process. So these are the only things which are used. Again, on the down, if you come, you again have the same options. Like for example, I want to do a search. So currently 20002 is matching with fourth record, row ID object 4. But if you want to specifically add that, no, I want to merge some other record also. So then we have this option of search for potential matches. So I can click on this search for potential matches. It will give me this search wizard where I can put my parameters, add parameter. So let us see, like I have only 3 records in my table, 20002, 4 and 2. So only 3 records we have in our base object tables as of now. So I can search for like row ID object 2 here. I can go back and select row ID object is exactly 2 and click on finish. So here you can see now it is showing 20002 is matching with 2. And now I can merge 20002 into 2. So if you want to manually select and merge the records, you can select and merge the records. So that is basically search for potential matches. And here we are search for potential matches is basically based on condition that we want to give. So based on your condition or filtering criteria, it will just search for a particular record and it will give it to you. But in IDD side, we don't have this option. In IDD, search for potential matches is based on your match rules. So we have configured, we will be configuring the match rules in IDD. So based on those columns, it will try to figure out the duplicate record, and if any duplicate is found, it will give it to you. So but here it is like forcefully we are selecting a particular record and we are merging it. And similarly, the next one is view cross-reference record. So that is for the cross-reference we want to select. So this is a CRM. Second record is from the CRM system. We can see the cross-reference data where this is the first record we loaded it as a CRM system, and later on we modified it. We changed the first name and the last name values. So those things it is reflecting here. So others are same, still edit. If you want to edit the record, we can edit this record here, or we can delete the record. So same options, deleting the record is available. We can delete the record, we can edit the record. Here we cannot add a record. Adding a record is only available in the data manager. So merge manager is basically, now we can say it is basically used to change the consolidation indicator value to 1. Or if you want to merge the records, that's the main purpose that merge manager used for merging the records plus changing the consolidation indicator value to 1. And if you want to put any record on hold status, that we can do here in the merge manager. So main is that these three things we can do from the merge manager, because other things like inserting a record, updating a record, or deleting a record, viewing the history or viewing the cross references, that we can see from the data manager itself. So merge manager we are coming only to merge the records. Any questions on this merge manager? Okay, so now we'll see one thing. Here is the configuration part. So now we'll be starting with configuration, and we'll be seeing like all the things which are there in the configuration. Starting with the databases. So if you click on the configuration part, you will have to connect to the master database because all of them are controlled by the CMX system ORS that we create. So in the databases, we can see like all the databases that we have or the ORSs that we have created and registered. So I'll just tell you how to create the ORS and how to register here. So ORS creation like you will not be able to do as of now, but you can just see how it is being done. And if you want more details, you can refer to the installation guide which is there. There also details are provided how to create an ORS and how to register it. So for example, like I'm just going to the putty where we have the MDM installed. So MDM basically is installed with this folder structure, starting with info MDM. Info MDM, then we have hub here, and then these are the three things which we have: cleanse, resource kit, and the server. So server is basically the hub server. Cleanse is the cleanse server or the process server, and the resource kit are basically the some samples and APIs are given. That is basically a part of resource kit. So three installers, separate installer comes, one for server, one for cleanse, and one for resource kit. So we'll go to the server, and under server we have to go to the bin path. In the bin path we have this a script file is there which is sip_and.sh. So this file is basically used to create an ORS. So we will not be creating the ORS like as usual that we create in the database, Oracle database. Like in Oracle we create user, like create user, username identified by a password, and then we grant the privileges, grant session resources or DBA to a particular user. So that we will not be doing. It will be done by this script itself. It will create the user and it will assign the required privileges. So basically two things are here, basically two commands that we run. First is like create_ORS. Create_ORS will create a user with some privileges, and import_ORS will import all the required repository tables, C repos tables and C require tables, which are required for the functioning of MDM. So this is the command I am using, sip_and.sh. After that, space create_ORS. So if you are doing on a Windows environment, it will be like a bat file. sip_and.bat file will be provided. So we have to run that file, and then space create_ORS. So this will ask basically all the connection parameters, Oracle connection parameters. So here, like first thing is the database. What is the database you are using? So most of the things you don't have to enter. Everything is just next. We can keep clicking on that. Similarly, the Oracle connection type, SID service, we can leave it as service. Host name, database host name. So database host name, it is currently in my local, so we can leave it as local host itself. Otherwise, if it is on some different IP, we can provide the IP of that machine. And then the database port number. So again, database port number is usually 1521 unless it is changed. And then we have to provide the SID. So in my case, it is different here. In my case, the SID is like MDM10, so I'm providing MDM10 here. And similarly, the TNS names. After that, we have to give the name of the ORS. What is the ORS name that we want to create? So I'm just creating with the name of test1 underscore ORS. And then the password. So for creating, basically we need a sys user password, or at least any DBA user password is required. That it will ask for the table spaces. So while creating a base object, you must have seen there are 3 types of table spaces that we have. So if you go back here to the schemas, and try to create any base object here. So here you can see there are 3 table spaces: cmx underscore data, cmx underscore temp, and cmx underscore index. So these are the 3 table spaces which we have to create when we install MDM. Before that, we have to install it, create this, because we need to use them, but it is not fixed. You can say that, can we change the name? Yes, you can change the name. There is no problem in that. But this is just a general convention which is used, they have provided. But it is not mandatory that we have to use the same table space names. I can change these table space names when I create it. So the commands are for creating a table space, and other details are given in this installation guide. So it will just ask the same detail. We don't have to enter anything. Just click on the next button. Keep entering. So this script is done. Test create underscore ORS is done, and it has created this user test1 underscore ORS. So now I can go and connect to this in the database, and I can see as of now nothing will be there because it's a blank ORS which has been created. So this is the test1 underscore ORS. So as of now there is no tables here. You cannot see anything here because it's just a blank ORS which is created here. So even once we do this create ORS, we cannot register this in MDM as of now. So because we have to run the other command, which is import underscore ORS. Import underscore ORS will import all the repository tables which are required for functioning of the MDM. Unless we run that command, the second command, we cannot register our ORS in the MDM Hub console. Now I'm just going to run this other command. Same I'm using sip underscore and.sh, then space import underscore ORS. So again it will ask the similar details. So these were the same details, just one extra details it will ask is this one. Enter the timeline granularity. So this we had discussed timeline when we had gone through the module 4, that is the load process, where we discussed this timeline, that these are the timelines basically from years to second level. So if you don't select anything, it is like a day level, and this gets stored in C repos DB release. So in C repos DB release, we have that option of timeline granularity. So in that table, it will go and get stored as 3, and this will be applicable for all the tables. For all the tables, if you don't select anything here, it will be at a day level. And later on, if you want to change it, you say that I don't want at a day level, I want at a year level for all the tables. Then we can go and just modify the C repos DB release, update it with, for example, 5, which will make it years, and restart the server. So let's show you that option. So this is the option C repos DB release. We have this option of timeline granularity, so which is set as 3. So later, if you want that I want at a yearly level, you can modify it. Just come and update this table to 5 and restart the server. Then these changes will be picked up. Okay, so now for this also import is also done. It is showing build is successful. So now if we go to the SQL developer, we can see all the tables are present there, all the repos table and the repart tables. So now all the repart tables and the repair tables, repos and repart, all are present here. So now, like, once this is done, now I can go and register the ORS in MDM. So now we'll go back to the MDM and register this ORS. So we have to come here and click on this add button, which will ask the type of database. Same here also, we need to pass the database connection details itself, and then the Oracle connection type, and then we have to fill these details. So only these things are required to be filled. This on the last two we have dynamic data masking. This is not required. So this gets populated automatically. So here we have a test button using which we can test like whether all the parameters we have given correctly or not. So once this is tested, now we can click on the finish button and this database will get registered. So the ORS will get registered here. So now this is created, but as of now it is a blank ORS here. So nothing will be there in that ORS. We can like go and log into the ORS. So here once we log into the ORS, we can see it's a blank ORS. So this is how like the ORS is created and registered into the MDM. After creating the ORS, like we have to create users, like who are the users who will be using this ORS, and assign them some privileges. So user creation is done here, just next to the database. So we need to come to this users, and again here we can use this add button. Using this add, we have to give the username and the password. So first name and last name are just important here. So if you just pass their first name and the last name, it will give us the username here. And if you want, you can modify the username also. And then we have to provide the password. What is the password? Plus the default database, which is the database that this user will be working on. So I have to select like this ORS, test1_ORS, which we have just created it. And then click on OK. So this is the user which got created. This user test1_ORS, and the username is like test1. So if you want to make this as an admin user, we can make this as an admin user as well. So usually like no one will be an admin user except like 1 people or 2 people will be there who will be admin. Otherwise for all the users that we create will be a non-admin. As of now, like if you go and check the server, everyone is like an administrator. So now like I have created this user as test1 and assigned ORS as test1_0. So now if he tries to log in, so let us log in using this user. So you can see here only that particular ORS is visible. So same thing is like coming for you also. Whenever you are giving your username and password and trying to log in, you see only one ORS. Because this is because of this, that we have created the users and ORS and assigned you a particular ORS. So as of now, because this is a non-admin user, if he connects here, he will not see anything. It's a blank screen that will come. So this is how like for the data stewards or the business analyst, they don't need access to MDM. They just want to access the IDD application. So for those persons, we will not give any access. So even if they log into the MDM by mistake also, they cannot do anything. So only the developers or the analysts will have access to all the other things. So the next is basically once we have done created the ORS, once we have created the users and assigned users the particular database, the next thing that we have to do is give the access, tools access. So we have to come to tools access and we have to select our user that we have just created. This is the user that we had just created. So see, if he is an admin user, then you don't need to do all these things. You don't need to give tools access, because if he is an admin user, he can see everything. But because he is not an admin user, I need to give specifically here. So suppose like I want the model, I will select this model and using this arrow button, I will move it on the right hand side. So this is basically add tool and remove tool. These are the two options. So I can move like, just click on this, it will come on the right hand side. So everything in the model workbench will come up here. Similarly, like for SAM, you want to give SAM also, you can just move the SAM also. Plus, so whatever were present in the model and the SAM came here. Now you say that I don't want hierarchies to be given to this particular user. So you can click on this hierarchy and then move on this button, remove tool. So this will remove it from here. So like this I have removed hierarchy. Similarly, if you want to remove any other thing, you can remove it So now, like, if this user logs in, now he will be able to see these tools with it. So now you can see I logged in using that user, test one, and I am only able to see the model and the security access manager. And the hierarchy is not present here. So like this, we have to give the tools access to a particular user if he is a non-admin user. So these were the three things: the database users and the tools access. Tomorrow we'll be looking into this other things: the repository manager and the message queues. How do we set up the message queues and how it works basically in MDM. Okay, so anyone has any questions on this? Anything that we discussed today?
That was a great overview.
Thanks.
I'm guessing that Informatica installation guide has all those details.
Yes, it is there.
It is there. I mean,
Yeah.
usually it covers a lot, like because of different platforms. I didn't see that yet, but do you have any like documents with the screenshots that allows it to go through installation? And
Yes, it is there. Yes, it is there.
It's in the guide.
No, it's not in the guide. I will put that in the share path.
Oh yeah, that would. If you have it, it would be great. Like step-by-step guide for installation with the screenshots.
Yeah, it is there. I will upload it today. I will create a new folder as installation and I will put it there.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you very much. I mean, I'm looking for the job right now, and I was actually asked about installation of MDM, but
Okay.
since I didn't know anything about it, so I declined. But it's not so bad.
Yeah, no, it's mostly straightforward. Just next, finish. All the three that we discussed: hub server, cleanse server, resource kit. Everything is like same. So I will just share that tomorrow today. Just look into this, and if you have any questions, we can discuss tomorrow.
How much knowledge of Unix or Linux you need to have to do that?
No, just the basic.
Just the basic?
Just very basic.
Okay.
Because we don't have to write any shell scripting as such. Just the basic thing, like opening a file, reading it, going to a particular directory, or just copying the file. That's a simple thing.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe then I can look for the job with installation. That would be not bad. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.